Greetings, everyone. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, for the first time in 26 years, the Virginia Beach Human Rights Commission is unable to hold our annual Human Rights Award ceremony. We had planned to celebrate this on December 10th, which is Universal Human Rights Day. Instead, to keep everyone safe, we will celebrate Human Rights Month by introducing ourselves to you and sharing some of our thoughts. In the meantime, hold on to your nominations for the next award ceremony, which we expect to be 2021. Be safe, be kind to each other.
Regardless of where you're from, what you believe, how you live, we all have the same human rights.
When I think of human rights, I think of all the things that unite us, things that make us one. You see, we all need food and shelter and love and acceptance and family. Human rights ensures that each of us has an equal opportunity to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Every culture, every faith, every gender, every economic status, every human being deserves to be treated with respect and with dignity.
Human rights is the equitable access to opportunity and resources for every citizen in our city.
What are human rights? They are the key element in humankind's ecosystem. They keep us in balance.
Human rights is very important to me. It means that everybody has the opportunity for an education that they deserve, a warm house to live in, and food to eat. Everybody's treated equal and fair in our community. Those are the most important things to me.
Human rights is a birthright. There are no rights without responsibilities. Ideally, a Human Rights Commission stands as the conscience of the entire community.
When I think of human rights, I think of our responsibility to treat all people fairly and with respect, regardless of where they come from or who they are. And this is not just because of their human rights, but it's also because it's just the right thing to do.
We have come a long way as a nation when it comes to human rights. However, we still have a long way to go to ensure that everyone is treated equally. I believe that legislation and enforcement of human rights laws have had a significant impact on our ability to live together as a society and to ensure the freedoms outlined in our Constitution.
If we as a community, as a society, sit by silently and knowingly while others of us go without basic needs, food and shelter and love and acceptance, we hinder our own progress in our own cities, in our state, and in our nation. Remember, we are members. All of us are members of the human race, which unites us. That makes us one. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere."
Working together to ensure that human rights are protected and respected for all people in our human family can have a profound impact on our society as a whole in making us a more compassionate, just, and loving people. As the great equity and human rights champion Brian Stevenson says, we are all implicated when we allow other people to be mistreated.
The most profound impact that human rights has had on our community and our society is our ability to push forward change in our marginalized communities, like our Black and Brown communities, LGBT communities, Latinx, and Indigenous communities, meaning that we are advocating and pushing for their rights.
For me personally, the most recent profound impact of human rights has been the passing of legislation to protect and end discrimination for LGBT individuals.
The United Nations states that human rights are key in shaping the response to the pandemic, both in public health emergencies and in people's livelihoods. Human rights place people center stage. Responses that are shaped by human rights have a much better outcome.
Ensuring that all citizens are treated with respect and dignity and have the same rights as others will make our community and our nation a great place for future generations.
Human rights can not only help our current climate, which is rather more divisive, but can help at any time. It's always good to be just and fair and treat people with respect. So not only now, but every time it's great to be aware of human rights and again, be fair and give equality to all.
Human rights can help us overcome racial injustice in our community by allowing everyone to understand that we are all human beings and we all deserve the right to access, equity, education, healthcare, and freedom in this country.
My real hope for our society is that we will learn to care for every person.
When members of our society respect one another's human rights, we can live in peace, enjoy the fruits of our mutual labor, and we will be remembered as an enlightened and noble people.
We may not see the value in our human rights efforts today, but like a tree, the roots of equality grow long and deep, reseeding itself each new season.
I see human rights shaping our future by making our leaders more empathetic, making them really feel what it's like to be certain people in our society that for no fault of their own are being judged by others. And so with more empathetic leaders, more empathetic people in power, I think it can only be good for our society, and believing in human rights for all is the first step in that journey.
In the current state of the world today, with the myriad of challenges that we face, such as climate change, nuclear and cyber threats, health pandemics, economic disparities, and systemic racism, it is imperative that all people work together to ensure that human rights are protected, so that the human species may thrive or face the fact that we may not even survive into the future. The choice is ours.
Thanks for taking the time to get to know the Virginia Beach Human Rights Commission. We hope that our message has motivated you to reflect on what having human rights means to you. Because no matter what may come our way, what's important to all of us is that our human rights are upheld.